Yeah, so right now our application is at a point where we are able to display the data and we are able to style the data as well. But this data is coming as a hard-coded data. But in real-world applications, it will not happen like this, that we are hard-coding the data in the front end. Ideal situation, what happens is the front end goes and makes a AJAX call to the backend or XHR call to the backend and fetches the data from there. Ideally, in this course, we are not focusing on developing the server-side code. So what we are going to do is we'll kind of try to simulate the server-side behavior and an Angular feature to fetch the data from the server side. So what change we are going to make here is we will cut this data from over here and we'll move this data to a new folder, and we'll call that folder data folder, and inside that we'll make a new file and we'll call it trainings.json. Now what we are going to do is we'll say, okay, rather than that, let me first directly paste the array over here, and this data that we have in this file, we are going to fetch this data into our front end. Now this training object should be filled from the JSON data. So what we need to do is we need to make a HTTP GET request, and the request will go to public data trainings.json. Now this is the GET request that we'll make, and we'll say once this request is successful, then what should be done is our function should be called with the data. So this is the function that is a callback function for the success, and as soon as the success answer comes, what we will do is we will go and fill the data into trainings. Now this is the backend code that front-end code, sorry, we need to write to interact with the backend. Now one challenge here is, now Angular will say like, I don't know what this HTTP is. So we need to fix that error. So in order to do that, we have to inject it here, and we have to specify that as a dependency also. Now once these pieces are knit together, let's go back to our application and we refresh our application. And right now what we are observing is our data is not being displayed. So let's go to tools, and it says, okay, there is some problem, unexpected token in JSON. Now one thing to keep in mind is whenever we are supplying a data file, all our properties should be in the double quotes, name of the properties. Only then this is going to work. So I'll go and put the double quotes around our property names everywhere, and last line is this, and duration in months. Yep. So once we are done with this, let's go ahead and refresh. Now again it says there is a, okay, so what we will do is the single quotes also will replace with the double ones. So we'll put single replace by double, and we do a batch replace, and let's say replace all. Now all the single quotes have been replaced by double quotes, so let's refresh it. Okay, there is still some, okay, so we do not have to give the semicolon here. And now what we see is our data is being fetched and we are displaying the data in our form. So the change that has happened is now our data is coming from this particular file.